Hello everyone, welcome to AI Anytime channel. So in today's video, we are going to talk about language models. Okay, you might have already seen or heard about language models. There have been so much of noise related to ChatGPT and other GPT principles like GPT-3, 3.5, and recently OpenAI has launched GPT-4, and those are closed source model. Okay, they are not open source. Okay, so there have been some open source model as well by Facebook AI, like we have LLaMA that was released by Facebook, having trainable parameters from 6b to I think 75b if I'm not wrong, or 65b, that we'll see. And then we also have MMCOT by Amazon Science, which is treated as a knowledge model. Okay, and then we also recently saw that Stanford have released a model called Alpaca. Okay, that we'll see. So this all started, I'll say, last year when ChatGPT kind of created that havoc in the industry, and after that you can see tsunami of large language models nowadays. Okay, so this is what we are going to see. So you can see that currently I am on this website, which is a Stanford website, which says Alpaca, a strong replicable instruction following model. If you see that earlier, ChatGPT was kind of having a sibling model like Instruct GPT. Okay, and they used to have this reinforcement learning with human feedback, and that's how they have trained the model. And Alpaca kind of replicate the same thing here. If you read, it says we introduced Alpaca 7b, a model fine-tuned from the LLaMA 7b model. Okay, so LLaMA released by Facebook on 52k instruction following demonstrations, and Alpaca behaves qualitatively similarly to OpenAI text DaVinci 3. Okay, being surprisingly small and easy, cheap to reproduce. Okay, so we'll see that how these models can be used, or how we can set up this model in our machine and how we can use it. So thanks to this repository called Dalai. We have this Dalai repository where they have created a wrapper around Node.js where you can use these models. I guess they currently support Alpaca and LLaMA engine through Dalai, and they have a web UI as well where you can go and try these models. Okay, we'll also see how we can install and configure this in our local machine, and we'll try to use this model and see if these are anywhere near to what ChatGPT kind of response when you do some prompt, right? This is what we are going to do majorly in this video, and we'll also see some language models. So if I go back to just give me 1 minute. If I go back to this cast here, so let's see this. Okay, I'm writing some. Okay, excuse me. So suppose this is our I'll just write global AI illiteracy. Now suppose if these are the three words, these are the only words that we have, and what do you mean that how we can get some knowledge out of it, what kind of knowledge this statement contains. Okay, and how we can derive a language model, or you can use a language model. Okay, if you have to use, and this is the only text that you have. Okay, so how you can use it. Now earlier there have been a lot of small models, I'll say small language models, that people have nowadays forgot. Now we earlier used to see Tiny Bird or Distilbert or Mobile Bird, or Google released a model called Albert, and then we also had GPT Neo by Lucer AI. There have been a lot of models, small language models, that's not that not having that much of trainable parameters like this big guy has, right? So if I talk about a simple language model, like for example Markov chain, okay, or Markov models or properties that use interchangeably. So I'll just talk about Markov chains here, which has been a language model. Okay, so this was a language model, but not a neural language model. So we have a lot of other models which are smaller in size and also requires less computational power. We have Distilbert, we have Tiny Bird, and these are the neural language model that you see nowadays. We have large language models. So these are neural language, or these are excuse me, these are neural language model. And so these all the words that you see, if they are representing they are called state. They are set of state. I'll call it state 1, and then it's S2 and S3. These are set of state, and then it compromises a chain that's called Markov chain. Okay, and they kind of predict the next sequence or word. They have this probabilistic determination because it has a transition ability. That's why they are in state. So if they are called as a set of state, they will have this probability, so they can have this transition. So this have been all originated from Markov chain or Markov properties, and using this technique, you can kind of control your language models. Okay, and if you see the origin from Markov chain to other language models, and then BERT came in few years back, and nowadays we are seeing all these sequence to sequence model like encoder decoder model that we have. People are talking about that in industry. So it has been a long journey for language models, and this is what we are going to see in this video, guys. So if you come to Dalai, okay, which kind of gives you an option that how you can use this language model in your machine with limited computational power. Suppose, for example, if you don't have multiple GPUs or even a single GPU, how you can use these models to inference it at least. So the command is very simple. If you come down, they have given a very good documentation as well, where if you come down there supports this 7B, 13B, 30B and 65B, which is a most powerful model by Facebook yet, which is called 65V LLaMA. And they also given you an option that how you can install it. So for using Dalai, you have to have Node.js installed in your machine, and you can install Node.js, and then you have to install models like we have currently supports LLaMA and Alpaca, for example. How you can install it? So first, what you have to do, you go in a terminal and you do npx install. Take the command npx Dalai Alpaca install 7B. So npx Dalai, if you want to install Alpaca, install, and they have only 7B a model available because they have been fine-tuned from the Facebook LLaMA 7B. Okay, so they contain only one model. When you install it, will take little time to install this model depending on your internet bandwidth. And once you successfully install that model, how you can serve that model is that you can do npx Dalai serve, and this is what I have done it over here. You can see it's currently running in my system. Now it will take you to this localhost 3000. You can see that I am currently on this localhost 3000, where you can see a logo of Dalai, and then we have some parameters that we can control, which says you have a debug option that you can check mark to have this on or active, and then we have number predict, then we have repeat last 10, then penalty, top K, top penalty, temperature for create controlling the randomness and creativeness nature of language model that you might have already seen when you are interacting with GPT-3 or 3.5 or any other GPT principles from OpenAI. When you use their API, you will find all these parameters over there that you control. You have seed for reproducibility, and then we have an option of selecting the model. So I have installed both the models, Alpaca 7B and LLaMA 7B, with help of this GitHub repository, which is available here. I will give the link in the description. And then you go back on this and then you start typing. So let's compare. So the whole purpose of this video is to compare these language models with each other. Like we have Alpaca 7B, which has been fine-tuned on LLaMA 7B, and then we'll also compare some of the results with ChatGPT. That I don't feel that it should get compared, but as Facebook LLaMA had earlier, I've read somewhere that they claim that they are better in some of the specific tasks that ChatGPT does, and this is what we are going to see. So the first question that I would like to ask here, let me first rephrase this. So I'll just ask a question here. What is the capital city? What is the capital city of India? This is my first question that I'm asking, and let's see. So this is the question that I have asked. Okay, and it takes time depending on your machine that you have, and also the setup that you have, that the way you have configured. Okay, so the capital city of India is New Delhi. You can see that Alpaca 7B has been selected here. Now let's keep this model here, LLaMA 7B. Let's choose this option and search for the same prompt here. Let's do the same prompt. What is the capital city of India? Okay, now this is my query now I'm just doing. So I just say autocomplete, and I've asked this query to now Facebook LLaMA and see what kind of response we are getting from LLaMA. So they say the capital city of India is New Delhi. The same thing. Okay, so for this first query we can see the same kind of result. Now I'll come here on ChatGPT, I'll just do a refresh and also ask this question to ChatGPT: what is the capital city of India? Okay, this is my question to ChatGPT as well, and the capital city of India is New Delhi. So you can see that you got the exact same response. Okay, and these are tweakable parameters. You can tweak these if you want to if you want to see some other responses. Now let's ask the next question. Okay, what do you mean by generative AI? Now this is my second prompt that I'm performing here. Okay, so what do you mean by generative AI? We have LLaMA as selected model here on the top. You see LLaMA 7B. So it says generatively designed AI is a type of machine learning algorithm that can generate new data, images or sounds, which is kind of capturing the multi-modalities here. This means it is able to create something from nothing, unlike deep neural networks, which are trained on existing datasets and learn how to recognize patterns in the world around them using predefined rules. Like generative AI is still a relatively new area of research, and so we are getting a very good response so far, with help of Facebook LLaMA 7B. So just to give you an information, I think Facebook LLaMA's 13B model has been compared with ChatGPT, and not the 7B, but on the 7B as well we are getting some good responses, but we'll test it further. Okay, only asking 2 questions or having very few of the prompts will not make it feasible to compare, right? So we are still using 7B, but if you want to use, just go and do npx Dalai LLaMA install 13B. It will install the 13B model here, and then you can run the web UI using npx Dalai. So we can also make some changes if you want to run this. So see, this is what we got. Okay, so for we have this option here having 200. You can also increase that if you want. So it will take a little more time if you increase. So this was the question: what do you mean by generative AI? So now I'll ask the same question to Alpaca 7B here. So this is what I'm going to do. So let's ask the same question. So what do you mean by generative AI? And now we're asking this question to Alpaca 7B now. So let's see what Alpaca 7B responds for this particular prompt that we have just made here. So what do you mean by generative AI? It's generatively trained models are trained to generate data such as images or text. Here we got generate new data, images or sounds. Okay, this is good. They can be used for tasks like image generation and language model. Okay, so got a very short response that I don't care about it because we can increase this further. Okay, now let's ask both of these models to write a Python code. So I'll say write a Python code to reverse a string. It's a very simple, you can also use pandas to reverse a string, or just Python modules. You can use your Python functions that comes from install. But we'll see what these language models are giving you. Okay, so write a Python code to reverse a string. Okay, so this is my prompt. Okay, and I'll just see that what we are getting. We are using Alpaca 7B right now, and the output should be the same length as input but in reversed order. Okay, I don't think it will write. Okay, it could not write the program. Okay, write a Python code, but I will use the same prompt to LLaMA 7B also. Okay, and we'll see if it's giving us the response. Write a Python code to reverse a string. Write a Python code to reverse a string, and let's see. Okay, write a Python code to reverse a string. This is my questions. Write a Python program that prints the largest number from an array of numbers where each element is separated by space and comma characters. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, now let's ask this question to ChatGPT. Okay, write a Python program to reverse a string. write a Python program to reverse a string. Okay, here is simple Python program that reverses a string. Okay, you got the code. Now it's very interesting, okay, to now understand. So if you come over here, you'll see that we ask this question and we have an option, we have a button called autocomplete. Now what does that mean? It mean that it will not give you any code like any of these models, like LLaMA 7 or Alpaca 7 models that we have. You see that we have write a Python code to reverse a string, and we got this in response, which is basically not what we got. Okay, and this has been compared with ChatGPT. Okay, so now let's ask some other prompt and see if it's able to give the response. I'll say write an essay. Okay, so I'll say write an essay for write an essay on the importance of write an essay on the importance of AI on society. Okay, now this is a prompt. Okay, I'll say write an essay on the importance of AI in society, and I'll just say autocomplete. Okay, now if you are not able to get desired response, now it can also be that you have to change your prompt, the way of prompt, and this is what we are getting. Okay, so this is the LLaMA 7B model we are using, and I don't see a desired response. Okay, using this LLaMA 7B model, I don't see this performing that well. Maybe again we have to look at this the research paper, how they have trained the model. Okay, and if their probabilistic determination or the underlying mathematics is anywhere near to how GPT was or ChatGPT was trained. Okay, now if I change this to Alpaca 7B and ask the same question, write an essay on the importance of AI in society. This is my prompt for Alpaca 7B, and I will just do autocomplete here. Okay, write an essay, and let's see if you are able to get any response. Okay, and meanwhile I'll also ask this question to ChatGPT. I'll say write an essay on importance of AI in society. This is my prompt to ChatGPT, and I'm 100% sure that this will give you the result. Okay, and I'm coming back here, and you can see Alpaca 7B kind of gives me this response, which I was expecting that it will give me the response because I have tried it earlier as well, and it's kind of generating. And let's also see ChatGPT kind of, no doubt that ChatGPT will give you, because you might have already used it, and there is no doubt that this will give you this response. The prompt that you are making, it's more dialogue based, interactive, and the reason being that I think this comparison should be stopped. This comparison should not be there with ChatGPT and other large language models currently, which is open source. And I have a very strong opinion in this comparison, because functional AI is not everyone's cakewalk. OpenAI deserves all the credit, the way they have started this journey from GPT-3 to GPT-4. Now they have made this functional AI easy to use. The only concern that can be there is, of course, the CEO of OpenAI, Sam Altman, has said that the model will be less biased. It means the earlier model were biased, and of course there will be bias. But just to understand this, data privacy can be a concern when you are using those APIs, because we have to work with the client's data, and that can be a challenge to use APIs to send this data to their data center, and now they can use it. That's an issue. But using these language models like Facebook Llamas or Alpaca, it's a big challenge, I'll say, for when you are innovating or you are doing digital transformation for businesses which are extremely pain in the neck to use these language models, and expecting similar kind of responses like ChatGPT does, which has a different way of training the model that OpenAI has done it in comparison with these models that we currently inferencing on Dalai. So you can also inference this. You have to go to this repository which says cocktail peanut / Dalai. I will give you the link in this description. You can go to this repository, and you can get this here, and this is what we are getting. These are the results that we have got. Okay, we have asked 2-3 basic questions. We have asked 2 questions simple questions like, capital city of India and what do you mean by generative AI. And then we asked to write a Python program that both of the model could not write. Okay, maybe that if this is not being developed for this task currently on the inferencing that we are doing on these 7B models, that might not be trained for this specific task of writing codes that ChatGPT does for different type of tasks that ChatGPT can perform. So this is a question that the last question that we asked here, write an essay on the importance of AI in society, and we got some results from Alpaca, which is very good, I'll say. And these are open source model. You can fine tune. You can fine tune these models on your own data. If you have your own data, you can fine tune it. You can also read it here. So in coming videos we'll also fine tune, okay, using these models or Alpaca 7B or LLaMA 7B or 13B on our custom data. And then we'll also utilize GPU. Okay, so we'll use this quantized model. Okay, people in community, they are quantizing 4-bit, 8-bit or other bits that they're quantizing these models, which makes it easier to use it on a GPU machine. If you have a single GPU machine, a CUDA backed machine, you can use that. So this is what I have for today's videos, guys. If you have any questions, any thoughts, please drop those in the comment box. Okay, if you like the video, please, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe the channel and please share this video to your friend and peer. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you in the next video.